Imagine a place where waterfalls tumble directly into the ocean, where grassy-roofed houses cling to dramatic cliffs, and where clouds drift so low they seem to spill over mountains like rivers. A place where sheep outnumber people, where Vikings arrived more than 1,000 years ago, and where one of the world's most incredible engineering achievements lies hidden beneath the sea. Welcome to the Faroe Islands. Located in the North Atlantic Ocean between Iceland and Norway, this remote archipelago remains one of Europe's best-kept secrets. Despite their breathtaking beauty, many travelers have never even heard of them. Yet those who do visit often describe the Faroe Islands as one of the most spectacular places on Earth. Today, we're counting down the 10 most fascinating facts about the Faroe Islands that reveal why these isolated islands are unlike anywhere else in the world. Let's begin. Fact number 10. The Faroe Islands have more sheep than people. The Faroe Islands are home to roughly 55,000 people, but there are over 70,000 sheep. In fact, sheep have been such an important part of life here that the very name Faroe comes from the Old Norse word freyjar, meaning sheep islands. For centuries, sheep provided wool, meat, and economic security for Faroese families. The island's steep grassy slopes are perfectly suited for grazing, and you'll find sheep almost everywhere from mountain ridges to cliff edges overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Sometimes you'll be driving through a tunnel and emerge to find a flock calmly standing in the middle of the road. In many places around the world, wildlife dominates the landscape. In the Faroe Islands, it's sheep that truly rule the land. Fact number 9. The islands were born in fire. Looking at the lush green mountains today, it's hard to imagine that the Faroe Islands began as a landscape of fire and lava. Around 55 million years ago, enormous volcanic eruptions shook the North Atlantic region. Layer upon layer of molten lava poured across the landscape, eventually creating the foundations of the islands we see today. Over millions of years, glaciers, wind, rain, and relentless ocean waves sculpted these volcanic rocks into dramatic cliffs, narrow fjords, and jagged peaks. The result is one of the most distinctive landscapes on Earth. Every mountain, cliff, and valley you see in the Faroe Islands is the product of an epic geological story that began long before humans ever existed. Fact number 8. Vikings settled here over 1,000 years ago. The Faroe Islands have one of the most fascinating histories in the North Atlantic. Around the 9th century, Viking settlers arrived from Scandinavia, bringing with them their language, traditions, and way of life. These Norse settlers established farms across the islands and built communities that would survive in one of Europe's harshest environments. What's remarkable is how much of this Viking heritage still survives today. The Faroese language remains closely related to Old Norse. Traditional customs continue to be celebrated, and many place names have remained largely unchanged for centuries. Walking through some Faroese villages can feel like stepping back into a world shaped by Viking explorers. And there's evidence that the Vikings may not have been the first people here. Some researchers believe Irish monks reached the islands even earlier, seeking isolation and spiritual retreat in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Fact number 7. One lake appears to float above the ocean. Few places in the world create a visual illusion as astonishing as Lake Sørvágsvatn. At first glance, photographs make it look as though the lake is suspended hundreds of feet above the ocean, balanced precariously on top of a cliff. The effect is so dramatic that many people assume the images have been digitally altered. But they haven't. The illusion is created by the surrounding landscape and viewing angle. In reality, the lake sits only about 30 meters, or 100 feet, above sea level. Yet from certain viewpoints, the drop appears many times greater. This optical illusion has made Sørvágsvatn one of the most photographed locations in the Faroe Islands and one of the most unusual lakes anywhere on Earth. Fact number 6. The weather can change in minutes. Locals often joke that if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. And they're not exaggerating. The Faroe Islands sit in the path of constantly shifting North Atlantic weather systems. Sunshine, rain, fog, and wind can all arrive within the same hour. You might begin a hike under blue skies, only to find yourself surrounded by mist moments later. Then, just as suddenly, the clouds disappear and reveal stunning panoramic views. This rapidly changing weather contributes to the island's magical atmosphere. The constantly shifting light transforms the landscape throughout the day, making every visit unique. For photographers, it's both a challenge and a dream. Fact number 5. Millions of seabirds call the islands home. The Faroe Islands are one of Europe's greatest bird sanctuaries. Towering sea cliffs provide nesting grounds for millions of seabirds every year. Among the most famous residents is the Atlantic puffin. With its colorful beak and comical appearance, the puffin has become an unofficial symbol of the islands. But puffins are only part of the story. The cliffs also host guillemots, fulmars, kittiwakes, razorbills, and countless other species. During nesting season, entire cliff bases seem alive with movement and sound. Some colonies contain hundreds of thousands of birds packed onto narrow ledges high above crashing waves. The spectacle is one of nature's greatest shows. Fact number 4. The Faroe Islands have some of Europe's most dramatic cliffs. The islands are famous for landscapes that appear almost impossible. Steep green mountains rise directly from the ocean. Vertical rock walls plunge hundreds of meters into the sea. Some cliffs reach heights of more than 700 meters, making them among the tallest sea cliffs in Europe. Standing at the edge of these towering formations can be both exhilarating and humbling. Far below, powerful Atlantic waves crash against ancient volcanic rock. Above, seabirds soar effortlessly on ocean winds. It's easy to understand why many visitors compare the Faroe Islands to scenes from fantasy movies. The scenery often feels too dramatic to be real. Fact number 3. Traditional houses have living roofs. One of the most iconic images of the Faroe Islands is the traditional grass-roofed house. At first glance, these homes look as though they have merged with the landscape itself. The roofs are covered with thick layers of turf and living grass, a building technique that dates back centuries. Originally, these roofs provided natural insulation against cold winters and strong winds. Today, they remain both practical and beautiful. The vibrant green roofs blend perfectly into the surrounding hills, creating villages that seem to grow organically from the land. Combined with colorful wooden walls and dramatic mountain backdrops, they help create some of the most picturesque scenes anywhere in Europe. Fact number 2. The islands are connected by incredible undersea tunnels. For a remote archipelago scattered across the Atlantic Ocean, transportation could have been a major challenge. Instead, the Faroese have built one of the world's most impressive tunnel networks. Several islands are connected by tunnels that pass beneath the ocean floor. The most famous is the Asteroid Tunnel. Inside, drivers encounter something almost unbelievable: the world's first underwater roundabout. Deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, roads circle around a massive illuminated art installation before branching off toward different destinations. It's not only a remarkable feat of engineering, it has become a tourist attraction in its own right. Few people expect to find one of the world's most unique traffic intersections hidden beneath the sea. Fact number 1. The Faroe Islands feel like another planet. If there's one thing visitors remember most, it's the feeling that the Faroe Islands don't quite belong on Earth. The landscapes seem almost unreal. Jagged peaks emerge from swirling fog. Waterfalls plunge from cliffs into the ocean. Tiny villages sit beneath towering mountains. Clouds drift across valleys like flowing rivers. The islands possess a rare combination of isolation, raw natural beauty, and dramatic weather that creates an atmosphere unlike anywhere else. Many travelers describe arriving here as stepping into a lost world, a place untouched by time, a place where nature remains firmly in control. And perhaps that's the greatest fascination of all. In a world where so many destinations have become crowded and overdeveloped, the Faroe Islands still retain a sense of mystery and discovery. In conclusion, the Faroe Islands may be small, but they are packed with wonders. From sheep-covered mountains and Viking history to floating lakes, underwater roundabouts, towering cliffs, and landscapes that seem almost extraterrestrial. These remote islands offer experiences found nowhere else on Earth. For travelers seeking somewhere truly different, somewhere wild, beautiful, and unforgettable, the Faroe Islands might just be one of the world's most remarkable destinations. So, which fact surprised you the most? And would you add the Faroe Islands to your travel bucket list? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing journeys to the world's most incredible places.